Apples. The ultimate fruit of temptation, the reason Adam and Eve had to leave the Garden of Eden, and the thing that Newton got bonked on the head with before he decided gravity was a thing. In Australia, supermarkets like Coles and Woolworths have turned apple shopping into an adventure, offering a dazzling variety that will either excite you or make you question why you walked into the fruit aisle in the first place. Let's embark on this apple-filled journey, where we'll explore the types of apples, their prices, seasonal availability, how winter treats them, spoiler alert, not very kindly, the ups and downs of price fluctuations, and why some apples seem to be on supermarket shelves forever while others mysteriously vanish like your savings after a grocery trip. The apple lineup. More choices than a dating app. Step into the fruit section of Coles or Woolies, and you'll find yourself in front of an apple buffet. They're all shiny, sitting there like they've been polished by angels, making you feel bad about your own reflection. But let's get real, how many apple types do you actually know? Most people just grab whatever looks red or green and call it a day. Well, my friend, today you're getting an education. 1. Pink Lady, the celebrity apple. Sweet, crisp, and slightly tart. Perfect for eating raw, making salads, or pretending you're healthy while you dip it in caramel. 2. Granny Smith, the rebel of the apple family. Green, sour, and unapologetically tangy. This is the go-to apple for pies and for people who enjoy a challenge while eating. 3. Red Delicious, the apple that looks perfect but often tastes like slightly sweetened cardboard. Looks aren't everything, folks. 4. Royal Gala, a well-balanced sweet apple with a mild flavor. Great for snacking, lunchboxes, and for people who just want a no-drama apple. 5. Fuji, the juiciest of them all. Sweet, crispy, and as satisfying as that first sip of a cold drink on a hot day. 6. Jazz, a hybrid of Royal Gala and Braeburn, meaning it's got a personality. Crunchy, tangy, and sweet all at once, like an apple with mood swings. 7. Braeburn, a mix of sweet and tart, often overlooked but surprisingly good. Like that underrated movie you finally decide to watch. 8. Envy, a newer variety that's super crisp and naturally sweet. Basically, the apple that makes other apples jealous. 9. Kanzi, a European apple making its mark in Aussie stores. More tart than sweet and best eaten fresh. The price saga. Why are apples acting like the stock market? Now let's talk about prices, which change more often than your mood when you're hungry. Full prices depend on the type, the season, and whether the supermarket feels like giving you a break that week. Pink Lady and Fuji tend to be on the expensive side because they're in high demand. Granny Smith is usually cheaper because not everyone wants to risk a sour shock. Red Delicious is often cheap because, well, people buy it once and then never again. Royal Gala and Jazz fluctuate in price depending on the season and supermarket mood swings. Price difference between Woolworths and Coles is sometimes just a few cents, but if you're someone who calculates every dollar, you'll probably find yourself comparing apples literally. And don't forget ALDI, where apples are sometimes mysteriously cheaper, leaving you wondering if they've been smuggled in from another universe. Seasonal availability. When to hoard apples like a squirrel. Apples are available all year round in Australia, but their peak season is when they're at their juiciest, crunchiest, and least likely to cost you your entire grocery budget. Pink Lady, abundant when the weather is cooling down, making them a staple for autumn. Granny Smith, always around because they're as tough as they taste. Royal Gala and Fuji peak in late summer and autumn, so if you see them looking particularly shiny, that's their prime time. Envy and Kanzi, available mostly in the cooler months, making them a winter favorite. Winter isn't too kind to apples, though. Quality can drop and they might start tasting a little sad. That's when supermarkets try their best marketing tricks, like slapping a special sign next to them, making you think you're getting a deal when really they just want to get rid of the older stock. Price fluctuations. When apples become luxuries, sometimes apples suddenly become expensive, making you wonder if you should take out a loan just to eat fruit. This usually happens due to 1. Weather issues. If a storm wipes out orchards, congratulations! Your apples now cost more than your coffee addiction. 2. Export demands. If China suddenly wants more pink ladies, guess what? You'll be paying premium prices. 3. Supermarket mind games. Sometimes prices just go up because they can. No explanation needed. If you're lucky, you might catch a supermarket discount, where apples go from luxury purchase back to affordable snack. But if you see apples at suspiciously low prices, check if they look sad and bruised, because sometimes a deal is too good to be true. The Great Apple Conspiracy. Do they ever go bad? Ever noticed how apples sit on supermarket shelves looking perfect for weeks? That's because they've got a secret. Most supermarket apples are stored in controlled atmosphere conditions for months before they reach you. Yes, that means your fresh apple might be older than your last New Year's resolution. While this storage method keeps apples crisp, it also means that sometimes they lose their fresh from the tree taste. If you want the real deal, try farmers markets, where the apples have probably been picked more recently than the ones in big supermarkets.